Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, or you could be a lurker if you just want to lurk. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome, Ghost Valve. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. This is the intro portion of the stream. This is allowing time for people to come in fashionably late. Nathan Explosion is here. Welcome, Nathan. Happy to have you here. We're going to let people just be fashionably late, come in as they please, get settled. Then we'll get into model kit building and hanging out. Ristafan is here. Hello, Ristafan, our Tier 2 subscriber. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy those. Me as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Pat. This is a little fun thing. So we'll look at it in the overhead, but I just want to say, the Zeta 3. Harold's here. Hi, Harold. The Zeta 3 is looking actually pretty okay. I have mostly figured out, I think, what was stopping me from getting the chest to look like it was supposed to, which is great. Harold wants me to hit the dance button, which I will, right now. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. I appreciate that very much, Harold. You can use that to have me ring a bell or dance or take a drink of water, various things. You could highlight a message, even though I read all chat messages, and I read almost all of them aloud, unless they're weird or a joke I don't get. Sometimes I don't read those. But anyway, yeah, I finally got the chest on here right. I've gotten the piece of the arm that I didn't understand what it was doing. That's correct, so I'm happy about that. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about a terrible, brand new and poorly implemented manga app that's looking real bad. Some nonsense with Twitter, because there's always some nonsense with Twitter, but we got some today. And I don't know, probably some wrestle talk and some anime talk in the second hour, of course. Chatting about our weekends. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the stream. I am going to reply to my own tweet, see if we get a few more friends to join us here. And we'll go to the overhead. And as you can see, if we I'll just adjust that like that. As you can see here, this actually kind of looks like it's supposed to look like in the photo, which is great to see. I'll just do that. This is now bent down properly, bent over in the right spot. It's locked in place. These are in the right position. Obviously, we got to build the arms. We got to build the rest of the waist because these legs are real floppy until I get the rest of the waist to kind of lock them in place, which we will do. But overall, I would say feeling pretty okay about all this. This is looking pretty good, and I'm fairly confident that I did this correctly. It actually looks like the chest of a kit. Because even if I mess up and like the transformation doesn't look good, if the flight mode doesn't look good, that's okay. As long as this looks good. Apple Mummy, great username. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So obviously it's also looking real good. Ooh, that sticker is coming up. So I'm going to put some, we'll just put some pressure on the sticker. The sticker is popping up, which we don't like to see. Might give that a dab of the old liquid cement there to kind of just seal it on there. I don't recommend doing that all the time, but every once in a while it's okay. We also do have our custom stickers that need to go on the back of this kit, but we're going to wait until we do the arms because I'm not sure how those. I want to just do a little bit more of this kit before I start adding in more stickers. I want to like complete the chest and then we'll add them in. Maybe we'll complete the chest and we'll put them on there. I just don't want to have the stickers flopping around as I'm working on the weird parts of this kit, because there are weird parts. So even though we have the arm frames in, we're not working on the arm armor. We're going to start with the front skirt and the side skirts of the waist. So let's see. Do I have to do anything else with that? No, I think that's ready. Again, I do have my door open, which makes me a little self-conscious because the door closed. It's kind of like I'm in my own spot. But it's warm, and there's nowhere for the hot air to go because it's all coming in from the outside. So now maybe it'll exit my room, or maybe cool air will come in. Shrug. I don't know. Um, Before we get into some nonsense, I do want to point out a cool thing that exists on Twitter. A surprisingly cool thing. They announced it today. It might be, I think it's going out to partners and affiliates first, but then everybody will have it. Um, while I get into talking to Clip Editor. Clip Editor is a new tool. Of course, you can hit clips. You can take clips. People can also clip it, and they can clip things in your streams. But I can go in and look at clips that people have made of my stuff or clips I've made myself because in my dashboard I have a little clip it button. And then I can take that clip and I can now with Clip Editor, I can make it a vertical. And you can basically like do the full thing so it'll just scrunch it up. Like if it was this screen, I could just scrunch so that it would be like the vertical up and down of this and make it, scale. But if it was the overhead, I could take the camera spot around here and put that up like here. And then I could take like a small little square of my center and make that the middle, which seems cool. Lord Crashington just resubbed that's the 46 months saying, hey, Pat, hope things are going well. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much for all those wonderful months, Lord Crashington. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, Dirty's here. Welcome, Dirty. Happy to have you here. And Lord Crashington wants me to hit that dance button, which I will as I put some emotes in the chat. Let's put some emotes in the chat. Thank Lord Crashington for renewing the sub. And then also, here's more dance music. Hell yeah. All right, we're working on the front parts of our skirting here. So Clip Editor. I made a test clip. It's on my Twitter account. You can go watch that there. But basically, I just took like me from the bottom corner and then part of the screen. And it was just from the Persona 4 stream a while back. One of our Persona 4 streams where our Persona 4 golden streams, where I patted the head of the mysterious fox. It's not like going to be a great clip. It's not going to do numbers. It was mostly just a test to see how it works. Because I have wanted to make more YouTube shorts. I have wanted to put stuff up on TikTok, my TikTok account. I've wanted to do that kind of stuff. I just haven't really had the drive to do it. Like I have a video editor. I could do it in Resolve, but I have a couple different video editors that can do that work. But this is way easier. So if you like something that you're watching, feel free to hit the clip it button, or Alt plus X if you're on a PC. I don't know what the Mac one is, but you could clip a segment if you wanted to. If there's something that happens on stream that you think is great, you could put together a clip. And maybe some of those clips will go on social media. Also, doing it through Twitch puts my username right there in the clip, and you can choose to not do that. But I would, because why not? So I think that is kind of cool. Perhaps it could lead to people wanting to check out what we do here and build our community a little bit. I don't know. Anything's possible. Maybe one of my rants you want to clip, and then I'll take a look at it and go, oh, I'm embarrassed I said that, but I stand by it. And then I'll put it on the internet, and it'll blow up. And then a small percentage of those people will come to see what we do here, because in talking, like, my buddy Mitch went viral as heck on TikTok from one of his streams, and he was like, yeah, it didn't do anything. Like, I did well on TikTok, but it didn't lead to like more people coming and watching the streams. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer that that's true, but that does make a lot of sense that it wouldn't immediately result in more views, because people are on TikTok and they're less likely to go see what else you do. But the real thing is, it's not going to hurt things. I'm not going to do, me putting clips on YouTube Shorts and TikTok is not going to decrease your good time here on the old Build with Baer Workshop. Promise you. It won't make things worse. If anything, the YouTube Shorts theoretically help my YouTube because people see them and then maybe will follow me on YouTube. And that would be nice because then maybe I get a little more ad revenue. We're very close on ad revenue. I'm very close to my AdSense being enough that I can get a payout. And that would be great. Love to get a payout from them again so I can buy model kits. Because that's what I do with my AdSense money is model kits. Let's see. Things we can chat about here. So, a bunch of stuff's happening on the old Twitter machine. There is rumors about who is going to be the new CEO of Twitter. Because Musk says that he found a new CEO. He's been looking for one. And not his dog. He's been looking for one. So that he can step down as being CEO. So that he can just be the cool owner and not the cool CEO. I don't know what his actual thought process is on that. What he thinks having someone else to take blame for will mean anything, because he'll still be the face of the company, because he would refuse to not be the face of the company. So, whatever. But yeah, people have some thoughts about who it might be. He has said that it is a woman, and excited to announce that I've got a new CEO for Twitter. She was starting in about 6 weeks. My role will transition to being executive chair and CTO, overseeing product, software, and PsyOps. So he's just going to transition on the company he owns. And that theoretically, the stock price will go. Here's the thing. Here's the incredibly funny fucking thing. The Tesla stock price will go up if he does stop being the CEO of Twitter. Head of conspiracies, indeed. So that's just like practical. People are, because even people who are like real into him believe that him being involved in the day-to-day operations of Twitter makes for a worse Tesla product and a worse company. So even like his diehards are like, oh, that's probably for the best, which is a weird place to be, my friend. Speaking of weird shit, this thing from 2 days ago. With the latest up version of the app, you can DM reply to any message in the thread, not just the most recent, and use any emoji reaction. You're like, okay, sure. I mean, I don't know, most people don't hit the DM button off of a tweet. I guess some people do. I guess enough people do that you thought that it was worth putting someone's time and energy in, but okay, sure. Release of encrypted DMs volume version 1.0 should happen tomorrow. This will grow in sophistication rapidly. The acid test is that I could not see your DMs even if they were a gun to my head. So that is, if you're like, hey, that's probably a good thing that Musk is going to encrypt DMs. That's probably a plus. Coming soon, coming soon will be voice and video chat from your handle to anyone on this platform. So you can talk to people anywhere in the world without giving them your phone number. Who the fuck wants that? I don't want people with my phone number video calling me, let alone people on Twitter. What are you talking about? Also, encrypted DMs. An influx in returning banned right-wing people. Election year. Looks like I'm now head of conspiracies. I mean, look, Obviously, he might say, no, go back to the drawing board on that. But one would assume that anyone that is building voice and video chat from your handle is putting in a thing where someone has to agree to it. You can't just cold call and then connect to someone's device. You're setting up the invitation for a video chat. But of course, that invitation is indeed, as Lord Crashton mentions, make it easy to harass women. Certainly. It's also a move to keep people on the site because it is, one could assume, attempting to eat the lunch of WhatsApp as a, well, you're already on Twitter, so now you can just make video calls from Twitter. You don't have to use another app. You don't have to like DM your friend to set up a time for you to then chat with them on another app. You can just do it through us, which like 5 years ago would have been a pretty cool feature. But now it feels unbelievably desperate. It just feels very desperate. And then the thing that does not feel desperate, a thing that just feels rotten to the core, unbelievably, terribly rotten. I mentioned before how I tweeted from the League of Heels account. That was to tweet because I was confused about if it was logging in or if it was using an account, what that was. Because the word was that inactive accounts were going to get purged, permanently removed. Well, they did update their terms of service about that, inactive account policy. We encourage people to actively log in and use Twitter. See, not just log in, use Twitter. When they register an account. To keep your account active, be sure to log in at least every 30 days. Accounts may be permanently removed due to prolonged inactivity. So they're not saying, hey, 31 days from now, you don't have an account anymore. But they are saying, hey, if it's been 31 days, we could just end your account right now if we wanted to, because you've been inactive. This is obviously tough for people that just don't want to use the website that often or the app that often. They want to have an account, but they're like not super active on the internet. That's not their jam. That's not their style. It also is awful for, yes, as Lasper points out, folks that are no longer with us, that their account serves as a blessing. There are people they don't have their parents' login information. They don't. Lord Crashington, that's what I just said. Be sure to log in at least every 30 days is what their policy says. They are not saying, it says accounts may be permanently removed due to prolonged inactivity, right? So they're saying, they are not saying, I should clarify, they are not pointed out saying, hey, if you don't log in every 30 days, we will remove your account. They are saying, hey, you should be logging in every 30 days because we decide what prolonged means. So at least you should do, because it's also at least every 30 days. Could be 15 days of inactivity. It is just because they don't like you, and this is the decision they came to about you not having an account anymore. But yeah, have a good night, Harold. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I mean, like, so this is obviously to threaten people that they're going to lose their accounts. But yeah, there are folks that, hey, maybe you don't want, even if you do have the account name, of someone related to you, you don't, you have their log information, but you don't want to log in and post as them, just to keep their account alive. It's ghoulish, is what it is. And also the idea of the information existing because no one made the decision to remove their accounts. You are making the decision to remove accounts. There are also so many inactive accounts that just exist on Twitter that will probably never get noticed and removed. There are just people who never actually use their accounts because they still won't do that part where like someone says like, hey, somebody created this account and never used it. Can I get that name because it's similar to mine? And they aren't interested in doing that. They've never been interested in doing that. But they will just make it so that if you have the password to someone's account that you would like to still exist, you have to log in and use their account all the time. I have a secondary account. It was a joke account I started doing that I didn't feel like doing anymore, called Could Beat Goku. Could Beat. I actually don't remember what the full name of that account is. I think it's Could Beat Goku. Or is it Could Beat? I don't even remember. This is very funny that I don't even remember. But I have a yes. Could Beat Goku is a Twitter account that I run. That I ran for a little bit. I started it and just ran it for like a couple months. I did 69 posts, and I ended on Yamcha because none of the people that I listed could beat Goku. Maybe a couple actually could. It was just like animated GIFs of anime and video game characters, and also El Generico, professional independent wrestler El Generico. A very silly nonsense thing that I did. I'm never going to log into that account again because I want to see if it just disappears someday. I wonder if the corporate accounts that stop being used as they change to a different username will go down like the normies have been disappearing. Lord Crashington, it all depends on if they want to be an asshole or not. It's all at the best. I mean, obviously, Twitter's a private company. They can do what they want. It's not government, run. They can choose to just be like, hey, you know what? No, if you're not logging in every day, you don't have an account anymore. Like, they could do that. It would be incredibly foolish of them to do such a thing. But if they wanted to, they could do that. I mean, they certainly could. Do I think they will do that? No, I think that at a certain point they're going to be like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Yes, it is random. As I said, the important thing to take away from there is accounts may be permanently removed due to prolonged inactivity. That is the part that is new, and that is the part that is vague and weird and shitty, but also not surprising. It's just not surprising. But yeah. Twitter's bad. Do I want to be on the Jack approved news site? Not really. Will I go there? Yes. If I get a Blue Sky invite, I will be posting on Blue Sky. And that one, it seems to be the one with the traction. I will still post on co-host. I will still post on Mastodon. But I don't engage with anyone on Mastodon. I follow people. I've got a few follows there because I'm in a community. I'm on the content.town. So the Brad and Will made a tech pod. I am part of that community. And so I get a lot of follows from that, which is fine. But I am not like super. I am. I'll say this. I'm not like predisposed to enjoy any of them. I have Spoutable. I'm on Hive. I haven't posted on a Hive in a long time. Spoutable, I think I've posted like a couple times. I'm on Post, and I've never posted on Post because it seems bad there. I don't love the vibes there. I got all of them because if any of them take off, I want to have @PatBear at that. That's the thing, right? I didn't do that with Instagram, and I don't have @PatBear on Instagram. I have. Wait, where are these? There's the pieces I need. 22 and 23 on F here. There's 22. Great. But yeah, I'm not on either of those. I don't really particularly enjoy any of them. But I do need to go somewhere because whatever. Eventually, I still need. I need to have some semblance of people who know who I am and what I do have an easy way to find out when my next stream is. Like that's still an important thing for me to have the word out. Or when I put up a new video, gotta post content somewhere. Indeed, right? Obviously, I have the Discord, and like I don't put my schedule. I don't like put reminders of that I'm streaming tonight on Discord all that often, but I do put in the other stuff I'm working on. I could certainly do that. In the promote yourself, I could post like, hey, and I might start doing that in the Discord because that way people can definitely see what I'm up to. But that hasn't felt like a priority for me. All right, let's figure this out here. Right now, what I've been doing here has not been difficult, which is nice. That is a nice change of pace from this kit that I have been putting together. And of all things, the skirt being the thing that is not difficult, the thing that sometimes is very annoying on kits. To have so far anyway, knock on wood, no problems, is very comfortable. Comfortable and comforting. He says as he, oh great, as he nails it. Does what he needs to do and nails it. All right, one more piece, let's go on that, but we'll do the other side first and then come back and post that piece there. Okay, let's talk about K-manga. K-manga is not a subgenre of manga dedicated to K-pop. You might think that is true, but that is not what it is. K-manga is an app that is debuting. Kodansha Limited just put out their manga distribution service. This is a digital service, Kmart Manga, indeed. It is out as of yesterday. It is out for Android, and it is coming to iOS, and it should be on iOS, and it's coming to browsers, so you can read on the web or your Windows phone within days. So they're like, hey, we put out like 400 titles, 60 simulpubs, which means it gets released in English and Japanese at the same time, or there could be simultaneously in multiple languages, often English and it's native Japanese. We're doing that, blah, blah, blah. Also, you're like, well, Pat, I don't need the people that that put out a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna be interested in, but like, I don't know, I buy single issues or I buy graphic novels digitally on other sites, right? I use Bookwalker. Well, they're gonna come out on K-manga before other places. So if you need that hot off the presses stuff, you can just get that right from them. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. That seems neat. So that's probably like, oh, you just pay for single issues and maybe you can get bundles, right? Like a bunch of places, right? You're just paying as you go. No, you can't just like buy a single issue and have it converted to yen or whatever, or pay for it in U.S. currency or Canadian currency because this is U.S. and Canada. Like, oh, okay. Oh, so they're going like the Viz model, the Shonen Jump, and then also the Viz app model, where it's just a subscription service, right? You're just going to do the subscription. You pay a monthly fee, watch what read what you can. The first issue and like the last issue or the last two issues is free to get you in the door. Oh no, that would be helpful. It's not that. Well, what is it? Ticket and point-based credit systems. It's like the old Xbox Live days. You buy tickets and credits. And if you're like, well, Pat, like a ticket just gets you a chapter then. Okay, well, there's probably a conversion rate, and it probably doesn't. It's probably a thing where like you got to buy a bunch of tickets and you don't actually want to use all those tickets, right? No, tickets unlock pages and points. The points you can get for watching ads, because you can watch ads to get points, are never enough for a full chapter. And also, because because it's based on pages, they'll split chapters up sometimes. Users can alternatively purchase points, every 100 points costing $1. The service also gives users points for reading the service's featured manga chapter of the day or for watching advertisements. Users can then use the points to purchase access to manga chapters. The point based for each chapter varies according to both titles and individual chapters. I'm reading an article here from Anime News Network. It's awful. The service will provide users with a free normal ticket once a day. That's right, logging in gets you a free ticket. Users can use normal tickets to read a single chapter of a single K-manga original series per ticket. So the free ticket does not work on everything. Because why would it? Users can get 3 to 4 premium tickets. That's right, there's normal tickets and premium. There are different kinds of tickets per day for login bonuses and special campaigns, and can utilize both normal and premium tickets to read about 4 to 5 chapters of a title per day. Because that's the part, about. It has to be about, because sometimes chapters are too big. Square Enix tried this 10 years ago, and it didn't work for them. This is old shit. Premium tickets have an expiration date. Premium tickets have an expiration date. So you can't even hoard them if you wanted to, I don't know, marathon a title. Don't hoard them for that long because they have an expiration date. Note that although this is Anime News Network, although K-Manga's own infographics state that premium tickets allow users to read as many chapters of your favorite series as you want, Kodansha Limited confirmed with ANN that using tickets to read 4 to 5 chapters per day is more accurate. So there's a limit. They got videos. They have videos explaining it. Their video to explain it. Literally, the thumbnail is, there are 3 chances to get points daily. Service is launching exclusively in the United States. That's right. So Viz is U.S. and Canada. This is their U.S. answer here. Nathan wants me to drink some water. I will. I'm getting all hot and bothered being mad about this thing. Yeah, Manga Up. It's not as predatory as this, but it's the same basic idea. Yes. The solutions out there are a la cartes. You just pay for whatever. That's a solution, like a Bookwalker model. I'll get into that a little bit. I'm going to drink some water here in a second. Then there's, of course, the this nonsense, and then there's the you subscribe. Not everything's going to be there at once. Some things kind of go in and out. Licensing deals change, but just subscribe. Service launching exclusively in the United States. Launch titles of the platform include Eden Zero, Blue Lock, Rent a Girlfriend, 7 Deadly Sins, and Don't Toil With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Some of which have anime adaptations currently airing or recently airing. Other titles include Four Nights of the Apocalypse, which is the sequel series to the 7 Deadly Sins. Fire Force, Chiafuru. Editorial team is managing the service. Let's see. All right, so I got to put these pegs going here on the side. Our side skirts have to go together here. Putting our side skirts together. All right, our side skirts are together. Great. Now we got to work on the back of the kit. and we'll just do the cheap one here, or the easy one. You may know this. It's my understanding this model is not uncommon in Japan. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Lashbrook. No, there are folks I've talked to that said, yes, this is Kodasha not listening to their U.S. publishing arm. There have been reports that their U.S. publishing arm said this is not going to work in the U.S., and they have apparently did not listen to that because this, there are services. This method is not uncommon in Japan, but that is not a good excuse to just do it here. And like, nah. You may remember that Crunchyroll has a limited number, like mostly it's stuff that they have. Like sometimes they licensed anime, they also licensed the manga, and it was never like a lot of it, and it was never like timely. But you could load up the Crunchyroll manga app and read some manga for included their subscription. It was a nice ad. It was never like a replacement for other services because it was never super complete, but it was nice. But they a lot of manga from their titles went away because Kodasha had issued a statement saying that suspension of simulpub updates was due to changes in its simulpub distribution program. And again, that was January 31st, and now it is May. Also, yes, much like Manga Up, there's a lot of censorship, and it's also poorly done. And that makes sense. This is a thing that in their heads, in their heads, if you were subscribing to this, you were reading this on your phone or a tablet on the subway or the train in Japan. That is like in their heads, even though this is for the United States. They don't really think of browser sales. They're thinking of people who are commuting. And so there is going to be censorship. There's some censorship of Manga Up, certainly. There's going to be a lot here on K-Manga. I retweeted one where basically there was clearly a sex scene. The original was not that graphic, but this one basically blacked out most of the panel with the exception of their faces. So they were just in a void. And it's like, oh, that's awful. But also, there is an assumption when you're buying digital like that there is going to be some censorship, and that, while I am not in favor of, I understand it from a perspective, and you should always read, the policies when it comes to things like that if you are going to be investing in service like this, which I say don't. Oh, I did want to say, just jumping back to Bookwalker for a second, a thing that I appreciate with Bookwalker is that, so they are, I can use, credit card, I can use PayPal. I'm buying manga, right? I'm buying graphic novels, I'm buying single issues. Buying stuff gets me points, but I can use those points for a discount on purchases, and like it's coin backs. It's like a buyback program, which like over time probably doesn't save me much money because you only get those coins from buying things and they do expire. But if I am buying a weekly thing, or if I'm buying monthly releases, or it's fine. And also it's just like a little bit of a thank you for purchasing some stuff. So I'm not like mad about it if I missed out, if I forgot. I don't buy things just to use those, right? Because that doesn't make any sense for me. To like be like, oh well, I need to buy this $7 graphic novel to save $1 because I have a bunch of points. I'll just let those points go away. Or maybe I will buy something on the first chapter in something I'm interested in that's a monthly release, and it's like $1 for the first issue. It's like, oh, I'll just use those. That's something I've done. I've paid like 15 cents to be able to check out something that I otherwise probably wouldn't have checked out. But yeah. Simulpub chapters used to be on Azuki, which is another service. They stopped doing that. And then so not only did they stop adding new chapters in January for Azuki, at the end of January, they just pulled all their stuff, which certainly that can happen. Obviously, if you bought things there, that's just fucking terrible. Um, early non-sub-pub chapters in some series removed, as well as several non-sub series remain unaffected on the platform. So that feels like that's like a lot of licensing things. That's the same way that this new Viz one, there are some missing chapters. Most likely, those chapters are soon to be released in graphic novels form, and they just didn't want to figure that out, so they're just waiting for the graphic novel sales to happen, and then they'll appear. Um, I am not I certainly am not here saying that people should just, whoops, grab the things they want off the internet. Uh, I have certainly on this very platform here on Twitch while streaming, I have certainly talked about uh, scanlations that I have read. Uh, but I am not advocating that things that are being published, especially simul-published on places, that anyone go and grab them from a different source. But I am saying I do understand because, hey, I don't torrent and I haven't torrented anime in 6 years, 7 years. I don't have to. It's not hard to just Crunchyroll, High Dive. Hell, eventually, I outweighted Anime Strike, the add-on service that Amazon was trying to do, and then that shit was just on Amazon. I had Hulu for a bit. I had Funimation. I got High Dive now. Um, I'm not. I don't have to do that. It's very easy. There's nothing that exists that does like. There's a service. Here's the thing. There's a couple shows that I kind of think are interesting that never end up end up anywhere. But also those don't get picked up by the few people out there fighting the quote unquote good fight. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that stuff. If I'm interested in something, it's available and I can just get it and pay not that much money a month to do it, which is pretty great. Um, and attempts to make that easier for people uh, just makes sense to me. The subscription model makes a lot of sense because if you're reading a few things, then it pays for itself. And you'll try other things because there's like a month where you're like, oh, there's, like, oh, this one thing's on delay, and I have this other one that I was reading, but I haven't read in a while, and it's like, oh, what's this? This is new. Oh, I'll check this out. Oh, this seems good. Sure, like, it's totally worth. It's totally worth it. I don't know. So I guess I should back up and say that's not 100% true. It's not 100% true. Um, Crunchyroll is not always good about grabbing the ONAs or OADs, the OVAs, right? They're not always great about the bonuses on Blu-rays that are like sometimes chapters and sometimes stuff like that, right? So like they're not great, but there is the Kaguya-sama Love's War, right? Like, oh, there's some bonus stuff that came out there that's like from the manga, and it's from like the side series manga, and it's like, oh, that kind of be neat to check out. It's like, yeah, once in a while. Or um, Love is Hard for Otaku. There's OVAs that came out for that. Amazon is not interested in making those OVAs easy to get or available. So sometimes you have to go and find a way to watch them. So I'm not like, I guess I'm not clean, 100% clean in that. But the 3 shows I'll talk about today, paid for all of those. Didn't go to a place to make it easy. That was very easy for me to just grab them. Very easy. Uh, uh, very easy. But you don't see me doing that because I'm not. That's not my jam. Uh, sorry, I'm just seeing this thing. What is this? Oh, I can set up an event for my streamiversary. Doesn't even automatically tell you when my anniversary is. That's silly. Okay, sorry, getting rid of that. Jeff Gerstmann said it best, says Nathan. You have to make it more convenient than free. Yeah, I mean, like, look, it used to be hard to get shit, and then because it was even hard. Like, torrenting really sped up the need to get this shit figured out, right? Because torrenting is way easier than tape trading or knowing the comic book shop that grabs fan subs or knowing somebody that imports uh, stuff and like knows a crew and like if you knew the guy that would like sponsor a series, so you showed him the raw whatever, you got the raw like TV recording of a show and you send it to the one guy that you don't really consider a friend, but like and you were like, hey, so what do you think about this series? Huh? Would you be interested in sponsoring this show so we could watch it? And like you go through all that hassle, like you could do that. You don't have to do that shit anymore. You just gotta like, and then with torrenting you never do that. So then things had to change because it became so much easier to just not pay for that shit. There was a website that was faster than Crunchyroll sometimes. Because Crunchyroll, for Naruto, Crunchyroll had its deal with Naruto, the last season of Shippuden. There was a delay of like an hour from Japan air date, and there was a website that would grab the episode, and as they were uploading it, they were also uploading the fan subs to it, and they would sometimes, some weeks, they would beat Crunchyroll by like 15 minutes. But even if they didn't, it was still the same day. It's like, because Crunchyroll had it ready to go, they just couldn't put it up because Toei was afraid that Japanese folks weren't going to watch it on TV. They were just going to use a VPN to watch Crunchyroll because, of course, they want them to watch it on TV. And so there was a delay to force Japanese audiences to watch it on TV. And because of that, a lot of people never paid for Crunchyroll to watch the final episodes of Naruto Shippuden. Gary and Nature subscribed, tier 1. That's 36 months. That's so many months. We're going to throw the applause in there. Thank you so much for that. Gary says, listen, that 15 minutes is between life and death in the Naruto universe. Well, also because people were just going to post spoilers, even though it's based on the manga, but especially the filler arcs, they got to get their spoilers in. Thank you so much, Gary, for renewing your sub. I really appreciate that. I remember a Naruto fan site that charged for the ability to direct download a bunch of fan sub anime from other fan subbers. That seemed fucked up. Yes. Any fan sub site that was like, hey, you can download some stuff like that they ripped off a torrent, like, and then they were charging all of that. Once they started charging money, it was like, oh, that's come on. You can't claim that you're just advertising the show. And also, there were still people that were fan subbing stuff that was like Kiss Manga. If you went to Kiss Manga, or Kiss Anime, I should say. If you went to Kiss Anime, a lot of times you were going to find stuff that was like people were fan subbing something that was already licensed and coming out, and it's like, why? Just steal the one that's out on a service. Why are you getting raws and doing your own fan subs? Like, what? It's nonsense. It's all nonsense. Dustin says, just realized my sub has expired too. Thanks for the reminder, Gary. Oh, well, that's great to hear, Dustin. Appreciate that. That's a lovely reminder. Yeah. If you view your Prime gaming token, you'll either know because you go to press an emote and no emote comes out, or you see an ad and you're like, wait. So, Dustin, I believe you use Prime, and so Prime doesn't always remind you right away. Sometimes if you refresh the page, it will. Other times, it just takes a little while before it gives you the notification to like, hey, you gotta click that thing. Um, yeah, sometimes that is a little weird. Um, these were a little annoying to get on. These back plates here, the back skirt, were a little annoying to pop on there. Oh, the Scream notification take. Oh, yeah, Dustin, it didn't. Oh, that's weird. But a number went up. Well, you know what? We're going to say thank you anyway. Thank you very much, Dustin. It might at some point. But yes, we did not get a notification that you renewed. If you do, we'll definitely give you another thanks later. But thank you so much for doing that. I did see the number went up, though, so that's good. It's nice when the numbers go up. We do enjoy that. So these legs just suck, huh? Okay. I thought that these side skirts were going to make these legs a little more stable. They aren't. These legs are barely held together, and I don't think they're great. It's just a real wobbly thing. It probably makes the transformation better and cooler, but it does feel real wobble. Real wobble. And then we got to build the shoulders here. Got to build the shoulders next. Let's actually, before we take a pause of the cause, let's put on the back stickers, because there's 2 back stickers that got to go on this kit. And we'll do that. Then we'll take a pause of the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. Yeah, because the next sticker I have, the arms only have a shoulder sticker. The arms don't have any stickers on them other than the one shoulder. So we won't do the big A there. Why does it have an A if it's the Karaba version? Sneaky. 14 and 15. So we're going to put a sticker on there. I am using this lovely color page, which is very helpful for me. These are the back stickers, so I am not too worried if something gets weird with them. You know what I mean? Like, if this doesn't work perfectly, it's okay. But yeah, this seems to be just kind of like that. Yeah. Okay. Oops. All right. Yeah. That seems okay. I can always adjust these if I need to. Use double-sided tape to kind of get them down, or a little bit of liquid cement or whatever. But that should be okay. Maybe I need to go up a little bit here. Just look at this photo. Yeah, they're on the back. It'll be fine. I'll figure it out. If it's weird, it'll be okay. I think the backpack is gonna the flight mode, when it's not in flight mode, the backpack's gonna cover these anyway. And then when it is in flight mode, I think won't be seen either way. So these seem to be superfluous, but it's good to get practice in there. And also, they do look cool, so sure. I will say this, folks. I don't know if my the parents in the house here are going to appreciate me having my door open, as I've talked now for 1 hour and I have 1 more hour to go. But I will tell you that it is way less hot in this room with this door open, and I am psyched about that. I'll get feedback tomorrow on this. But I was about to start and the door was closed, and I was like, it's going to be so hot in here. I'm going to be so sweaty and annoying. Annoyed, not annoying. I'll probably be annoying, but not because of that. But I would be annoyed. And I was like, I can't do it. I gotta open the door. So, all right, we're gonna work on the shoulders after the pause for the cause. I'm gonna take a moment here to talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we're gonna build some shoulders and get into some arms here. Took longer than I thought it would to do this stuff, but it's a real grade. It always takes longer than you would think. No real grade is easy, especially a weird one like this. Let's see. Back here. Okay. So, hi. Uh, boom. Hello. Welcome. First and foremost, thanks for watching this. I'm going to talk to you for a couple minutes about ways you can support the channel if you were so interested. Everything I'm about to say here is optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to hit the follow button if you don't want to. You don't have to buy something off my Amazon wish list or watch any of the videos that I'm promoting. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You being here is cool as shit, and I appreciate it very much. Now, there are other ways to help out if you want. And one of the easiest ways is to subscribe, like Dustin did, and Gary did, and Lord Crashington did. If you want to become a subscriber, you can throw, if you are a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money, your Prime Gaming Token, or cash through here on Twitch. You could give the sub like Bobby did, and Njon did, and Omega 9 did, which is really cool. You could cheer like Harold has done, because cheer is helpful and always appreciate it. Those are various ways to support what I do here financially through Twitch. And of course, if you have emotes, that means that you're a subscriber. You don't see ads. You don't, like when you come in, you don't get interrupted during it. You get some cool emotes. It's nice. It is by far the simplest way to support what I do here. But there are other ways, and I'm going to talk about a few of them, like my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Go over to my Patreon, check that out. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Most of the top ones are seeing things early or voting on what I build next. Like if you want it, the $10 tier, I'm going to put a poll up because I think we're going to finish this kit. We might finish this kit on Saturday. We'll definitely finish it on Monday because there's still some stuff that needs to get built. So we probably actually won't finish it Saturday. But I'm going to put a poll out that says, hey, what do I build after that? Because it's always good to know. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Subscribing to my YouTube is, of course, free. But if you would like to become a member over there, for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you just get that. You get one video a week early, but it's $2 a month because maybe you want to do that, and that builds up my AdSense, gets me closer to a payout because there are minimums for the payout for Google AdSense, which is frustrating because I'm just so close to getting that payout, but not there yet. Let's see. Other things that you could do if you wanted to, if you were so interested. A one-time donation, a direct, because those are monthly. What about once in a while you would like some money to come your friend Pat's way? Well, you could make a direct. You can make a direct donation. Why is that being weird? There it is. You can make a direct donation through PayPal or Stream Elements or Coffee, and everything I make through that goes directly into a fund, and I buy model kits and equipment with that. So that is direct. That is through YouTube, through Patreon, and through Twitch. All that goes into a fund. I buy model kits with that. I was able to pre-order this kit a while back because I had the funds available, which is very kind and very generous of y'all. Now, as I said, I do have an Amazon wish list, and if you buy something from that, not only do I make a dedicated video about the thing you purchased, but it jumps the queue, and it becomes the next thing that I build. We'll take a look at that right there. I'm going to close the door a little bit more here. Sorry, I'm closing my bedroom door, not all the way, but I'm closing most of it. I've got a bunch of stuff here that's available that you could purchase if you're so interested in. And yeah, again, I made a dedicated video. It jumps the queue, becomes the next thing I build. I've got Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits. I've got model kits that are Amazon free shipping, not free shipping. There's a puzzle that I bet sucks. It's high rated, but I bet it sucks. Bunch of different stuff that I'd be happy to build on stream if you purchased it off my Amazon wish list. Yeah, that is a way to support me, is to buy something that I will build next. It's been a little while since we had anything bought off there, so if you want to do that, you could. And there's some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to to have some new gear. Sometimes people want to help out, but they don't know what to buy. So you could do that. You could also head over to USA Gundam store, buy a gift card there, then send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open with the gift card code that you get in your email. Or you could go to my Throne wish list and see if there's something there you'd like to buy, and that'll also support me. And if it's a model kit, then it goes the same thing as the Amazon. I have a Discord. You can join that Discord if you want to hang out with me on Discord. You could do that. Let's see. That's a way to help me for free. A couple video links, then we'll get back to building here. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I put up a new episode this week. If you want to learn about light novels, and specifically you want to learn why light novels have such long names that then get adapted to a manga, that then get adapted to an anime with those long-ass names, I get into it. I talk about the longest name in Japanese, the longest name I could find in English, and of course, the shortest. I found a very short Japanese light novel title. But I talk about the history of it. I think it's a pretty good, informative video. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series. Perhaps the character that I'm playing in Baerly Rehearsed, you would find in one of those light novels. Because this character that I'm playing in this Baerly Rehearsed is the guy that can't believe that the main character is as strong as everyone thinks that character is. It's like the guy at the guild that's just like, look at this scrawny person with the big weapon and all the girls around him. I'm going to go make trouble for no apparent reason. So it's a character that I've seen in a lot of fiction, and I'm sure you have too. I think it's a pretty good video. I think it's all right. I think this is a fun idea. We're going to get back to building and talk about some anime, and I'm going to drink some water. But I'm also going to get up for a second, so I'm going to go here. You'll hear me. 1 second. Just going to get up, and I have decided to close the door. So I have closed my door. So this next, the next 50 minutes are going to be a little more sweaty for your friend Pat. But it seems that was not appreciated, me having the door open for that hour. So the door is closed. Anyway, we're going to transition back to the overhead here. I'm going to drink some water. I don't think I ever did when the hydrate was Nathan wanted me to drink, and I didn't. So I'll do that now. And then we'll work on some shoulders and talk about some anime. Can you believe it? It's coming up in just a second here. I just have to do this, and then we're going to go dramatically. All right. Let's build some shoulders for this kit and also talk about some anime. Great. I got a cheat ability in a different world and became extraordinary even in the real world. Is an anime that got a little fucking real in this episode. So, if you don't remember, our main guy in this series, he found in his grandfather's house, his now deceased grandfather's house, a portal to another world where someone called the Great Sage used to have a house and had all this equipment and gear and magic and all this stuff. And our guy was able to level up and change his life because of this. And it's been pretty cool because of it. Well, he found the cave where the sage died. The sage passed away alone in this cave near, like obviously just like finally passed away near where, he's been living. So, Yuya, our main guy, is reading this diary, and at points this diary is like replying to him, like talking back to him. So it's very clear that this is not an ordinary diary or journal from this well-known sage. Apparently the sage learned every magic spell there is, was very strong and powerful, and then of course the gods invited the sage to become a god, and he declined that. he wanted to stay human, but he died alone, and he had a lot of regrets. Um, and suggest that Yuya surround himself with friends and family so that he never forgets his own humanity and doesn't become a monster, which is like pretty heavy for this dude who's just like a good boy trying to like get by and figure shit out, who's never really had like a loving family ever in his life other than his grandfather. Um, so basically, it's like, hey, I can grant you a wish if you want, like if it's in my power. And Yuya is like, well, I do wish that I could use magic, because apparently Yuya is not born in that, because Yuya wasn't born in that world. He doesn't have a magic circuit, um, which is like world building. That's kind of interesting. Like, yeah, like the reason why he hasn't been able to activate magic before is because there's no way he could activate magic. That's interesting. So the sage grants him, because his body is still there, the sage's magic circuits, which are like, magic veins throughout the body, which makes Yuya now incredibly powerful. And also there's some like tutorial on how to use magic. Also, hey, surprise, the Fenrir knight, his little pupper, also can use magic, and we knew that. But yeah, now he can use magic, and he's got a lot to reflect on, which is interesting. It's interesting that, like, I don't know. I found that to be kind of fucking cool, that there was like this, hey, having powers is awesome, but like, you do have to surround yourself with good people so that you don't get corrupted by the power that you now possess. It's like, oh, that's pretty neat, anime. That's pretty good. Apparently there's going to be a camping trip coming up, and Yuya does not have stuff to take on a camping trip. We meet some characters that we haven't really met before, some background stuff. We're expanding the world of his friend group. I don't think I've talked about the dude that acts like he's the protagonist in a romance novel, or British, which is pretty fun. We haven't talked about Akira on this, but yeah, he's going to be in the group. Anyway, Yuya's friends decide, like, hey, we're gonna, you know what, we got to go shopping, buddy. You need gear for this trip. Let's go get you some gear. They're having a good time. And then the girls separate from the guys to go do some shopping, some lady shopping. Also Carrie goes with them. And this is also her first time going to an arcade, going to the mall. She's like prim and proper and like raised kind of secluded. So, he didn't go because there was never a reason for him to go and have fun. And she's never been. So they all get to go together, and it's really cute and fun. And then like all of Yuya's new friends are like, we didn't know that you knew that, you were friends with her. And he's like, oh yeah. So it's fun. Also, hello, welcome. A thing that I found cute in this episode of I Got a Cheat Ability in a Different World, where, it was focusing on like, oh, you should be careful about like the powers you have and responsibility and all that. It's like, oh yeah, that's all well and good, but also Yuya is just going to use his abilities of luck and skill to be very good at crane games and win prizes for everyone, which is incredibly cute and fun. It is just a very fun element of that episode, where it's just like everybody has a different thing that they would like, and he's very good at crane games. And he's like, oh yeah, I just got lucky. It's like, oh no, magical skills and all that. So today has been a fine stream with this real grade. This real grade is a nightmare to construct, and I would not recommend it despite it looking so good. I don't think this is a fun model kit to build. But we've been focusing on the side skirts, the waist, and that's been fine. But at the end of Monday's stream, I was cursing and not enjoying myself trying to get this chess piece to fold over and have the head stick up and not everything pop apart. And it was very bad and very frustrating. And while I do think the Karaba version of this kit is gorgeous, this kit is not worth how upset I have been while constructing it. But today has been better than Monday. But in general, not a fan of this kit. Yeah, I mean, modern real grades, I think, I've had a lot more fun with. I think the God Gundam is great. The High Nu was fantastic. The Gelgog, not Gelgog. There have been a Zeong, I think, was great. You still had to fix your real God. Your God Gundam chest. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the chest. But I do think that, some of these. This is a 2012 kit. They were trying a bunch of stuff. I appreciate they were trying, but they were not successful. You don't get to do the super mode. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, mine ended up being all right, but I might have just gotten lucky. Back to talking about this anime that I'm talking about. So they got separated at the mall, and then there's a fire that breaks out. And then, hey, our guy with his super abilities, Yuya, saves the day. He uses magic to basically do some cool shit and saves all their lives. And everyone's just like... And then there's a very nice scene where Kaori's dad appears. And, of course, obviously he had been, raised by... or spent some time with his grandfather. But, his immediate family never been kind to him. So Yuya is just like, oh, that's what it's like. Okay. And then back in the fantasy world, we have a King Arnold learns that his daughter wants to marry Yuya and is not happy about that because he just assumes that Yuya tried to seduce her. And then there is a little interaction with some sort of monstrous person. That wants to destroy the world and meets the divine rabbit. And I don't know what the fuck that means. We don't know what that means yet. We will. But I'll soon, Yuya's going to meet the king and figure out all that. But we do know that, she proposed, but she is fine with just starting out as friends. They're just going to see what happens. It's the Easter Bunny. Now, I do not believe the divine rabbit is the Easter Bunny. I believe it is a sinister, it's something a bit more sinister, but we'll find out soon. This show continues to be just an easy watch. It is very simple. I do appreciate the jumping between worlds dynamic. I think Knight, the Fenrir, that looks like a puppy in the real world, is a great little additional character. Just a good support animal and a fun one. I have read the manga. I know where some of this goes, although my assumption is the anime is going to catch up to the manga by the end of it, which is fine. That happens. I am now past the manga in Kuma 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 Bear, because Kuma 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 Bear Punch puts me in front of where the manga is, which is interesting, because it's, based on a light novel. But yeah, for the most part, the series has been a fine watch, and now I am ready for more of Yuya and the gang, in the camping trip and all that, and then the introduction of a girl who we know is going to be trouble, but Yuya does not know is going to be trouble. Fun. And what happens there? We don't know. I don't know, because I'm not at the point. The manga is not at the point where we know, so we'll find out. But yeah, totally cool. So Oshi no Ko is on High Dive. The pilot for Oshi no Ko, the 90-minute episode 1, is probably the best thing out this season that's not Witch from Mercury. And I say probably, and I think I mean definitely the best thing out there that's not Witch from Mercury. But then we get into more episodes. and it's less of a thing that I want to be watching. I'm still watching it because I think it's still well made and good, but I don't know if I. There might be more. If there's more murder mystery, like starting like next week, then I'm gonna be engaged more. Because right now I am not super engaged with what it's giving me, which is just like how tough it is to make it in the idol slash entertainment industry, uh, and like the trials and tribulations of like high school people trying to make that work. One of two of whom are reincarnations that won't tell anybody that they are. Like I'm like, okay, it's like interesting. It's like an interesting series, but I'm waiting for the whole figure out who set me and my mother slash idol I really respected, who set this up, that kind of thing. I'm kind of more interested in that part of the series, and like I don't care if I really at this point don't care if Aqua can help Kana become an idol. Like I just kind of don't give a shit about that part, and I think I'm supposed to. I just kind of want to find out who Kana or who Aqua and Ruby's father is, and who set up her mother. Uh, I kind of just care more about that. So, and I know there's like 100 chapters of the manga, so like I ain't finding out this season if anyone even knows, if it's even a thing that's known. Um, so in this episode, Kana signs up with the. Kana is like not sure if she wants to risk her acting career by becoming an idol, but she does want to keep working with Aqua, because she thinks that's the way to improve. She is unhappy to find out that the next job that she's going to be working with him, or that his next job is being on a reality dating show, where he's on there with like a fashion model and a dancer and an actress, and an internet personality, a YouTuber. They say YouTube. They don't make a fake name. Um, uh, Kana is jealous because, of course, her feelings for Aqua are not purely professional and also not purely as a rival. She also is interested in him. So she's jealous. Yuki is interested in Aqua. Yuki is the fashion model. And she's just like, hey, maybe we'll kiss by the end of the season. Kind of going for that. The idol group is getting ready to start up. And Ruby and Kana are going to make a debut online. I think that's going to help. And they get some help from somebody who's just like, hey, collaborate with my like already good YouTube channel. That'll be the best way to get that going. And they train a lot, and everyone is impressed with Ruby's hard work. But of course, we know that this is nothing for Ruby, who in a previous life was sick and in the hospital all the time. And so just being able to walk around and move and dance around is a lot, is such an improvement for her and from her previous life. So this is no big deal and no problem at all. We know that, but they don't know that. Let's see, is there anything else I need to say about this? Ruby decides she's going to revive the group name that her mother was part of, B Komachi. The letter B, Komachi, which is nice. She's going to try to revive the group, which could, I think, put a target on her back from people that are going to be shitty about it. Maybe, who knows? So again, the life and times of some idols, people trying to make it as idols, and people working in the entertainment industry and all that, and reality dating shows and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not hitting me. as much as I would like. I think the murder mystery stuff is stuff I'm way more interested in. Um, like this is a show like I watched this episode today. I didn't watch it yesterday when it came out. I wasn't in a rush to check it out. I didn't get around to it. It just didn't. Yeah, it just doesn't. It just doesn't hit me as hard as some other shows might have. All right, so we have, even though we built this first, we should put the arm stuff on before we put this on, or build the armor before we put on uh, the shoulder. So even though we built these first, can't put them on yet. Got to put the right arm armor on first. We'll get into that while I talk to you about Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. The King of Beasts. Hey, we found this episode introduced us to the possibility that our main character, Seraphi, might end up having friends, which would be very different for her. 27 is going to be on this page. Okay, so that's this one. And 27 is on here. Yeah, it's these pieces here. Great. Seraphi learns that Leonhardt's mom pretended to be who was a human, pretended to be a beast, which makes sense because otherwise, how could that have worked? So yeah, she just spent her time pretending to be a beast, which makes a lot of sense. Apparently, all the different beast races, anyone that has a princess, they were all marriage candidates, even though the King of Beasts was not interested in getting married to any of them, mainly because of his secret, I assume. Yeah, he never put it out there that he was looking. So we meet Vivian, who is a cat princess, so either they want to get married or be a concubine, and he is not wanted either because he's half human and doesn't want anyone to know that. He's never met anyone he felt like he could trust that with. Vivian is trying to seduce Leonhardt because he's a lion and she's a cat, so she just thinks like this is the way to go. And Seraphi is jealous about that and unhappy about that because why wouldn't she be? But he's obviously not interested, but she doesn't know that. One of the other princesses, hey, actually, Seraphi makes like friends with Amit, who is the princess of reptilians. So she is a lizard lady, and she's just like, I was forced to be here. I've kind of been exiled until I can get married or become a concubine. But like, there's a reptilian guy that I've always been in love with, and he's like captain of the guard. And it's like, oh, that sucks. She like doesn't, she's in a really tough position, and Seraphi can kind of relate to being in a terrible position imposed on you. What with her being raised her entire life to be a sacrifice. Like she can relate to that. Okay, so we got this piece on. Let's panel line this while we do it here. So let's see. At the banquet, Amit gets tormented by the other princesses, and her dress gets ripped up because they've decided they can pick on her. And then she borrows a dress from our lovely Seraphi. And talks to the guy that she likes, which is nice. Vivian, of course, threatens her, and this is a fun thing. Not only was she looking to become the wife or consort, the cats, she's like, oh, well, of course, I'll just turn him into my puppet, and then, my people will be in charge and rule. And it's like, hey, I know you're talking to this human that you think is low status, but like, maybe don't tell her your plans in the royal capital about like what you're going to do to how you're going to manipulate the king. Uh, but also Emmett defends her, and then the king shows up, and he's like, "Yeah, you're banished. Get out of here." Um, and all of the princesses get told to leave because, except for Emmett, who becomes Seraphi's assistant. So now she's got some backup that is not just a little creature. She's got a grown ass sized creature to beast to help her out, which is great. But Linhardt's like, look, I'm not going to get any concubines. I'm only interested in you. And Seraphine like gets a little like, oh, she's like, her heart beats a little bit. She's like, oh wow, okay, it's cute, it's nice. This girl has not had nice things, so even if there is a bit of the like, well, this is better than being sacrificed. Still pretty great. Things are still pretty good. They're getting better for our gal, so we can appreciate that, and we can hope that things go well for her. I'm doing a lot of this. They would have me do these one step at a time, but we're going to do anything that we can at the same time. We're going to do that because it just makes life easier. Because these are identical, so we might as well just do that. I need A38. Is that the gray A38? A38, so that's here. A38, great. And that is what I have been watching these past couple of days. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you playing? Are you like patiently waiting for it to be the time in your area where you can get your hands on some Zelda? You're gonna be you're tearing in the kingdom as soon as possible. Are you playing anything? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you if you're watching anything, streaming anything that you're interested in. While I wait to see if you all have anything to say there, I'll just say that Miro and Thunder Rosa both made appearances last night on Dynamite, just as like, hey, they're both around. It's interesting in the case of Thunder Rosa because the reports were that she is going to require back surgery. So who knows why she showed up. Miro, one could hope that he is going to be on whatever. Most likely, at least one of those people will be appearing on the new Saturday show, which they will, of course, announce. TNT Upfronts next week will most likely be announcing this new TNT show, this Saturday night show. And then it will be mentioned again on Dynamite. Unfortunately for Tony, Tony Khan's big announcement will have to be made after the Upfronts. He doesn't get to make that big announcement himself, which makes sense. But that looks like that's coming. Finally, we'll know about that. Came on TV today to say, or last night to be like, hey, I got a big announcement. There's going to be a big announcement next week. And it's like, okay, Tony. Thanks, Tony. You sure do like to make announcements, in the words of RJ City. Because that guy loves announcements, Tony Khan. Loves making them. All right, I think this is on, right? This seems to be on, right? Anything else in the world of wrestling? Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega, and it doesn't make any sense, but sure. Look, do I think that also you mean Thunder Rosa still needs back surgery? No, Lashbrook, she took time off for her back to heal. But she never got surgery for it. She just took a lot of time off and recuperated and did therapy. But rumors are speculating right now that she actually needs back surgery, like for real actual surgery, instead of just time off. That is supposedly what's going on with her. Lord Crashing says, been playing Breath of the Wild while waiting for Tears of the Kingdom to be out tomorrow. Hell yeah. Dirty says, 1.5 hours to Zelda. Currently playing through Final Fantasy 14. Nice. Lastbrick says we're going to beat Metroid Prime, not Mario Prime. Mario Prime. That sounds good. And then go back to Breath of the Wild. I haven't beaten Metroid Prime yet. So you're not going to get to do the DLC for that. Finishing up a few playthroughs for Elden Ring. Pre-ordered AC6. Transplanted those seedlings to grow bags. Nice. Nice. John says, I'm going down. I'm going to be doing some Zelda in 90 minutes and starting a arena manga called The Cat Proposed. Okay, nice. Haven't heard of that one, but cool. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know what y'all are getting up into. All right, so we're building. We can build both sets of arms right now, so we can get started with that. I don't know if we're going to finish that, but we can get started on the arm parts. And we can build them 2 at a time. So we'll need both G's, we'll need both D's, and we'll need some of the A's here. But let's get this started. Nathan says, I'm catching up on my backlog with Miles Morales. I'm saving my new game money for Street Fighter 6. Hell yeah. I mean, my new video game money is going to be Diablo. That's the next one. I am. I can tell you this now. So next Tuesday, playing a classic game that I've been playing before. We're going to do Pokemon. Pokemon Platinum Randomizer will be next Tuesday, the 16th. Tuesday, the 23rd, I will not be streaming. I instead will stream Wednesday, the 24th. And you're like, Pat, why are you doing a bonus stream on Wednesday? Well, that's so that I can play a game that is coming out on Wednesday. Because May 24th is the release date for a video game that I want to play. And so I am going to do that. So I will be checking out Sunshine Shuffle on the 24th because that is release day for that game. I am being provided a code from Strange Scaffold, the production, the developer. They made a game that we played on stream that I really enjoyed, which of course was An Airport for Aliens currently run by dogs. If you remember that stream, we played that a couple years ago. That was a very fun, goofy time. I enjoyed that very much. And so I am going to be playing their latest game that is coming out, which is Sunshine Shuffle, which is a card game of cute animals that a few years before this card game went and robbed the bank. And that's as much. And also, some of the soundtrack was written and performed by Ska2 Network. So there's some Ska is co-wrote the soundtrack, and that's what I know from that. And I'm excited for that. So that's going to be that's coming out on a Wednesday. I'm double checking now that is what they said, but I am 99% sure that is what Javier Nelson said. I know about that one. Come on, tell me when this game's coming out. Let me go to Strange Scaffold. Let me go to their Twitter account. They got a game coming up this fall. It's going to be on Xbox, but that's not this. They got a horror game coming out later this year, so it seems like even though this is the next game, that one's the one that we're really pushing. May 24th, yes. So PC and Nintendo Switch. I will of course be playing the PC game. And that's coming out on the 24th, so I decided that I was just going to stream on that day instead of waiting a whole week. It's coming out on the 24th, yes, so May 24th is when it comes out. El Paso's coming out in the fall, which is the game that they're kind of pushing because that's also on Xbox. But yeah, so this game is May 24th, which is a Wednesday, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. It is. So it's because it's coming out on a Wednesday. I made the executive decision, that I would play it on that day, on the 24th, and not play it on the, wait a week. And I didn't feel like waiting the week, so. So next Tuesday, normal bonus stream as always, doing the normal thing, and then the following week, a little earlier than normal. Let's see if I can get this together. Probably not going to finish the arms today, but we got some of the arms done, and we'll get some more of it done here, which is good. And then we'll continue working on the kit as we go. All right, so we got to do that. We got to do that. And then we need D4 and E2. So we'll get into that. Which E is it? Which E is it? It's this E. Nice colored E. And then we need D4. That. We're doing this 2 at a time, which is nice. The people in the movie Executive Decision have a lot of shit to say about Steven Seagal. The more you know. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me that people would have a lot to say about Steven Seagal. Yeah. That does not shock me one bit. That guy sounds divisive is a charitable way to say it. If not garbage, and also owned by a mafia or government. Real not great. A lot of real not great over there from Steven Seagal. The Don Callis turning on Kenny Omega thing. Look, the idea that Don Callis is a scumbag that would turn his back on Kenny Omega, of course he would. Does it make sense for him to do it now when he was about to win a match? No, it does not make sense. This part does not make sense. Will it make sense after some sort of like conversation that Don has been working with someone behind the scenes, like he's been working with Will Ospreay to take down Kenny because of their other battles in another company? Like maybe you can make the argument that makes some sense. But if you're just like, well, because some people who are like, they're like, well, everyone knows that he like was manipulating Takeshita. It's like, yeah, he was manipulating Takeshita. But even if he was a heel this whole time, like Don Callis still considers Kenny Omega his meal ticket. And like, if you're like, well, in the future, like he's the future of the business. It's like, okay, so you invest in the future of the business. But why turn your back on the former world champion? Like, why? Like, why? Why do you? Why, like, and yes, so those questions need to be answered. AEW is good about like moving things forward and like telling the story they want to tell. They're not always good about justifying their nonsense. Like, it just feels like we needed a big thing to happen there because we didn't want Kenny to win the match, but we didn't want it to be a clean victory. So we'll just do this and then we'll figure it out and we'll have some time. Like that's what it feels like to me, and that sucks. That's Impact Wrestling like justification of just like, well, a swerve had to happen, bro. Like we're gonna do a swerve. And it's just like, come on. Like these are great storytellers. You can tell these stories. Whenever someone is saying I'm making an executive decision, I think back to the interviews people gave on that movie. Oh yes, the executive decision. There you go. I can't remember what I'm reading at the moment where the MC learns that there is a mortal witch that is reported to run around the world fighting evil with her broadsword named Mekispan and spear named Stefan Seagal. That is interesting. I don't know. I don't think I've come across that. We don't always read the same things. We read a lot of the same stuff. But we don't always read the same things. It's just a spear named Stefan Seagal is interesting. Yes. Yeah, that spear like tries to do something really cool and the spear just instantly falls apart. Just like, oh no, couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the cool. Yikes. Yeah. And then D9. Got to put D9 in both of these. I don't know. Like I said, it feels like Don Callis betrayed Don Callis, like legitimate uncle of or not family uncle, not real uncle, family uncle. Like he's just so odd. It's just a weird like. I mean, they're gonna try to justify it. Maybe they'll do a good job of justifying it, but like uh, Mel Gibson and Steven Seagal are apparently his deceased grandmother's favorite action stars. Okay, all right, yeah, I guess that's your grandmother loved those action stars, so you name your weapons after them. I guess that's justification. Anime, sure. It's not like that. I didn't finish reading it. It was a manhwa. It was a Chinese story that I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was a manhwa. My apologies that I don't remember. But it wasn't something that really stood out to me. But early on in the story, a minor character was just named George Lucas. Not a parody of George Lucas, just like another character just happened to be named George Lucas, and it was just like, come on, anime. What I was like, come on, story. You can't be naming a character George Lucas. Like what? It was just like a guy. I don't remember what it was. I can't tell you what story it was, but there was just a character named George Lucas. Can you imagine having someone named Robert De Niro in an anime? Yes. Who the fuck would name a character Robert De Niro? That is comical. That's some silly Billy stuff right there. Never happened. Not in a million years. All right. I bet E3 is these. Yeah. All right. We are going to finish this armor, the armor. And then, of course, on Saturday, we will complete the wrists and the hands. We're not going to use we're going to use just the regular old hands that come with this kit here, not the special hands. But yeah, we'll be able to at least pop these all together. And then yeah, we're going to, let's see, what's going left of this kit. We got to work on the hands, and then we got to build the stabilizer unit and the backpack, the flying armor. So that's all we have left after the hands and the completing that part is then we got to build the backpack, which is a bunch of steps. It's not light, and then the shield and the gun, the beam rifle and the shield have to get completed, and then maybe I'll figure out how to transform this into its flight mode. But I bet I suck ass at doing it, so I'm a little afraid about doing that. I bet it's going to be a nightmare to get that all together. It's several pages to do the flight mode. So, and of course, all the stickers. So I don't think we're going to finish this on Saturday. We're going to get close to finishing it, but especially because the majority of these stickers are going to be. I mean, there's one on the shoulder, which we didn't do here, but most of the stickers are on the backpack part of the kit. So, the majority of these are going to be on the flight thing. And the shield, so you still got to do all of that. So this kit is not, we're not like close to being donezo on this thing. All right, but we can at least get this armor on here. So this is going to go on this. This is going to go like this. And we'll just figure out where this has to go here. And then, of course, I'm probably going to panel line this stuff on my own time. Off stream, I'll probably hit the panel lining. I'll save the sticker for during the stream, because applying stickers at the beginning of a stream is nice and easy for me. I'm not stressed out at that point, or tired, or my eyes aren't being all weird. So the beginning of the stream is a great time for applying a new sticker, but we'll do that on Saturday. Tomorrow, going out to dinner with my parents for my dad's birthday. And then Saturday, we're doing a day early, Mother's Day. 'Cause it's Mother's Day in the United States on Sunday. But we're going to go out for brunch. And we're going to do it on Saturday brunch instead of Sunday brunch. Because this is still, there's tourists and stuff around. And it would just be kind of a pain in the fucking ass to have a lot of, to try to go out and do that on Sunday. So we're going to do it on Saturday instead. All right, we did get the shoulder armor on. I do have to do, so we'll do the big A sticker on Saturday that we have to put on here. And we'll see if there's any other arm. I don't think there are any arm stickers, but I know there's that. Dirty says my family's doing Saturday Mother's Day as well to beat the crowds. Totally. Yeah, I just think that was suggested by my dad, and it was a very smart suggestion on his part. So we got some stuff done here. We basically almost body completed this kit. Which is good. Like I said, I don't think we're going to finish this on Saturday, but we're definitely going to get some of it done on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we made some good progress because none of this was soul crushing, which is great. Thumbs up on it not being the fucking worst and making me hate building model kits. That is lovely. Very pleased with that. All right. So. We end every stream with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing some cool shit out there. We're going to go hang out with them. That is my promise at the end of every stream, is that we pay it forward by going and hanging out with somebody. As John says, we always end with a stream. Indeed. Let's go see who is doing cool shit out there that we want to go spend a little time with. We got a bunch of people streaming. Let's see who's doing some stuff. Let's see. I want to see how long my friend here has been streaming. Only an hour and a half. They stream longer than I do. So we're going to go raid my buddy Liz, Liz Star, who is doing a Legends of Ruterra chill stream. And maybe going to be playing some Zelda at midnight. So at the very least, a little more streaming coming from Liz. So we're going to go hang out with my buddy Liz. The bird stream is never going to get your raid. No. We're never going to go raid. We raided Will's bird stream once, and I didn't realize that's what's happening. I thought we were just raiding Will Smith, and I didn't realize that he was just... So we did it one time. We're going to go raid Liz, who rules. Feel free to come along on this raid. Liz is great, and Ruterra is fun. I never really got into it, but I do appreciate it. I like watching people play it, so we'll do that. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for coming along on this raid. Please consider coming back on Saturday to continue working on this very good kit. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great night. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, and thank you very much for watching the VOD. Goodbye.